Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Wess, and I'm from JNN, Jerusalem News Network. And today, right here on the COS Kids Facebook page, we have an exclusive interview with two very important people and witnesses, indeed participants, to a story that's simply amazing and indeed life-changing. So grab your favorite beverage and snack and get that coronavirus glue out of your ears and listen to me. First, a little background. On the first day of the week, today actually, very early in the morning, several women took spices that they had prepared and went to a tomb. This tomb allegedly had the body of Jesus of Nazareth, who had been crucified on Friday afternoon. Amazingly, they found the stone, and we're talking about a very large stone. Big, okay? We're talking huge. And when they entered, guess what? No body. They could not believe it. His body, Jesus' body, was gone. And they, at first, started wondering about this. And then two men in clothes that apparently gleamed like lightning, okay? I like some of those threads. Well, these men stood next to the surprised women. The women were scared, and they bowed down. But the men, these two cool dudes said, and I'm quoting, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He ain't here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was with you in Galilee? The Son of Man must be delivered over to the hand of sinners. To the hands of sinners, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again." Well, guess what? They started remembering. And when these three women came back from the tomb, they were excited and fired up. And they told about what had happened to the 11 men, the other followers of this Jesus of Nazareth, and everybody else who was there. And three of these women, they've been identified. One of them was Mary Magdalene, the other Joanna, and the other Mary, the mother of Jesus. Well, right now, of James, I'm sorry. Well, right now we're going to pick up this amazing story from this point of view. We're going to actually interview one of the women, but first we're going to interview one of the men who they're called angels. Now, they kind of move around quickly, so we're going to interview him real quick. He's going to come up right up here, and I just want to see what he has to say. Sir, can you sit right here? This is one of the younger angels. So can you tell me exactly what you told the women?
He has risen.
Really? And then what did you say? Did you leave?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks. Very good. I love your threads. Well, there you have it. Now, that is an angel, a very small angel, a little angel. But next, we're going to talk to Mary Magdalene. She was one of the three women who apparently spoke to that angel and one other angels, or they were called men. And she's going to come right and join us right here, if I can slide over. And her name is Mary Magdalene. Mary, are you a follower of this Jesus of Nazareth?
I am.
Okay. Apparently you had some demons removed from you at one point, right?
7.
Wow. Okay, well, we're not going to go into that. That's a different story. So can you tell me then what happened exactly?
We were bringing the spices to the tomb, which is done usually after the person has died, and we were going to wash Jesus and put the spices on him, and it was me and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, and we walked there and expecting to find Jesus' body laying in the tomb, but the stone had rolled away.
Now, what did you think? I mean, were you scared? Did you wonder if you were seeing a mirage?
Yeah, I thought at first that somebody must have stolen Jesus' body. And we were all dismayed and trying to figure out who would take him.
And then did these men or these angels appear rather quickly after this happened?
They did. We left the tomb to look around a bit outside of it, and there they were.
Right.
Bright and shining, and we were so scared.
And what did they tell you?
Joanna screamed. And they told us that we were looking for Jesus among the dead in the tomb, which we were, and they said he was alive. That's why he wasn't there.
And apparently you went back and told some of the men, his followers, about this, and apparently they didn't believe you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Interesting.
The word of a woman these days is not highly regarded, so...
Well, we're not going to go into a lot of detail on that either, but let's go into more detail about, this man Peter, who apparently was one of this Jesus of Nazareth's top men, pretty big, strong guy. In fact, I hear he's a local fisherman. Apparently, what exactly did he do?
Peter just didn't believe us and wanted to see it for himself, so
Okay.
he went running straight out the door after we all had announced what we had seen straight to the tomb.
Wow, that's amazing. So you really do believe then that on this, what you call Easter Day, that Jesus Christ rose from the dead?
I do. We saw him afterwards.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
We're going to continue the story from another part in 1 second here. We appreciate that that Angel was still very much happy and dancing around, and hopefully he's not going to do it anymore while I'm reading here. But you never know. I mean, angels, they have their own thing going on here. So anyway, what I'd like to do now is to continue. And we do appreciate Mary joining us for that. And we assume that both of them will go back to a place where you do not need to have any kind of separation. Anyway, later in the day, two of the followers were going to a village called Emmaus, which is about 7 miles from Jerusalem. And they were talking about everything that had happened. And as they talked, Jesus himself came up. Can you get him out of there?
I'll get out.
Come on, buddy. Thank you.
I'm going.
Because we want to make sure, we love angels, but we want to make sure that everybody gets this story. Thank you. I'm sure you're all laughing about that. Anyway, as I am. But they were talking about everything that had happened. And as they talked, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them. But they were kept from recognizing him for some reason. And Jesus asked the two followers, "What are you discussing together?" And the men stopped. They were sad. And one of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem that these days that doesn't know what's going on?" "Bro, seriously." "What things?" Jesus asked. And they said, "About Jesus of Nazareth. I mean, he was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all people. The chief priests and our rulers handed him over to be crucified, to be sentenced to death and crucified. But we had hoped that he was the one who was going to redeem Israel. And what's more, it's the third day, and since all this took place, in addition, some of our women amazed us. They went to the tomb early this morning, but guess what? They didn't find his body. They came and they told us that he had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Then some of our friends went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." He said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. As they approached the village to which they were going, Jesus continued on as if he were going further. But they urged him to stay. "Hey, buddy, stay with us, for it's nearly evening. Let's have some supper together. The day is almost over." So he went and stayed with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then, at that point, their eyes were open, and they recognized him, and then he disappeared from their sight. They asked each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scripture to us?" They got up, went back to Jerusalem, and found the 11, Jesus' disciples, and they said, "It is true. The Lord has risen, and he has appeared to Peter." Then the two told what had happened on the way, and how Jesus was recognized by them when he spoke. So, boys and girls, ladies and gents, the Easter story has been told. And the bottom line, he is risen. Celebrate with friends and family, but keep practicing your social distancing. This is Mr. Wess reporting from JNN. Have a fantastic day. Hope to see everybody soon. Goodbye.